Alright, here we are at our secret bug out location. That's right, in the secret bug out location, we're going to be testing food today. This is chicken teriyaki. Up to 25 years shelf life. It says 5 servings in there. And it's valleyfoodstorage.com. They sent me this for testing. They sent me a couple of different ones. Pasta Primavera, whatever that is. Now, under full disclosure, last night I went ahead and tried one of them. And comparing these to Mountain House, let's compare this to Mountain House right here. These are more dehydrated rather than freeze-dried. However, there's no MSG, no trans fats. They use sea salt, no cholesterol, just add water. And this one here I used was Irish pub style potatoes. Now, it's kind of hard to measure out, you know, if you're going to make less than 5 servings, but it can be done. So I just split them in half. Now, when just like Mountain House, it's the same way. When they say 5 servings, they're expecting you to eat something with this. Maybe potato soup and a sandwich, or something, you know, to eat with it, not just this being your entire meal. In other words, as far as a 1-course meal goes, I would say this is more like 5 servings. That's 2 meals when you mix it up. And well, you'll see what I'll do here in a minute. I'm going to use this jet boil, and it's got a graduation in there for 2 cups of water. So this thing over here wants 5 cups of water. So I've got to do some guesstimating, and I bring 2 cups of water to a boil. I'll dump in the chicken teriyaki, approximately half the bag, and, you know, bring it all up to a boil, turn it off, put the lid on it, and let it sit for 20 minutes to 25 minutes. So this does take longer than freeze-dried. You know, the Mountain House is usually done in 5 to 10 minutes, where this would be about 20 to 30 minutes for this to be done. Okay, it's in Mylar, and it's a good heavy-duty Mylar, but it's still not rodent-proof. So as far as storing this on the shelf by itself in long-term storage, I would put these bags inside of some harder container, like a steel trash can or something like that. You store these Mylars in the metal trash can, or you know, somewhere to keep the rodents from going through it, because a rodent will eat right through Mylar. Rodents go right through it. Alright, let me get this camera set up here and get everything set up, and we'll start to cooking one thing of thing. There's my little kitchen right there. So let me get it started. Well, let's put this here stove together. Got me some jug of water here to make the stuff with. So let me find my little mark in here. Shows 2 cups. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Ah, there it is. Alright. Let's bring the 2 cups of water to a boil. Gotta line this up with a little Sure that's screwed on nice and tight. Fire it up. And now, let's make it a little more level here. There we go. Could put that on there to help cover it up, let it heat up a little quicker. About that full. That much actual product in the bag. So these could be made, technically it could be made smaller, or maybe made into a 10 meal pack or an 8 meal pack, you know, to more efficient use of packaging. You know, might as well fill the pack up. Or, you know, let's see, if that's 5 servings, you could probably fit 8 servings in here, which would be more like 2 meals for 2 people. No, more like 4 meals, but ouch, whoo, hot, 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 hot. Yes, steam is hot, folks. So now I'm going to try to figure out what about half of this pack is, or see here. That's about, not quite, a little bit more. Being that this has noodles in it, you have to get to some of the finer stuff at the bottom of the pack. Alright, that here, let me put this off to the side because I have some stirring utensils inside this box here. Yeah, there we go. Stirring, the all-important Walmart fork. You can see it's boiling in there. I brought it back up to a boil with everything mixed in. Then I'm going to turn the heat off and cover it up. So the only difference in this and the Mountain House is once you pour the ingredients in there, you bring it back up to a boil before you shut it off. With the Mountain House, you just pour the boiling water in and seal it up. So, you know, you're bringing this whole thing back up to, let's say, average 212 degrees, and by the time 20 minutes goes by, it's in an insulated, that's the nice thing about the jet boil, it's got a little built-in little cozy thing there. Helps keep it hot, so it'll be about eating temperature in 20 minutes or so. Now I will take this off and stir it. Let me take this time to mention about calories in these things. Alright, that's why I say when it says 5 servings, yeah, that's 5 servings if you have something else. But if you're trying to make a meal out of this one package, you're looking at maybe 2 meals. This is 2 meals. Alright? So you fix half the pack in the morning, half the pack in the evening, and that'll be your chicken teriyaki. And then for the potatoes, you do the potatoes. Next day you'd have potatoes for morning and supper and whatever they have on their menu. So and then even then the calorie count on this, let me get this camera up here, y'all look at my ugly face here. And then the calorie count on this stuff is low. So you notice it said no fats in there. Well, you need fat if you're going to be doing strenuous activity. Granted, I don't need the fat, but you young whippersnappers out there will need the fat. So if you're packing, like, let's say 3 of these packages for a 3-day trip, I would say to also pack maybe a pint of clarified butter. I like clarified butter better than olive oil, but you know, olive oil will work too. Just pack a pint of olive oil and mix a few tablespoons of olive oil in each one of your meals. It'll add a little bit of fat to it, actually add flavor to it if you cook it right on into it. But I like the clarified butter. A couple of spoonfuls of butter and you've got a better flavor, and you got your calories. There's hard to get more flavorful, dense calories than what do you call it? Clarified butter. I mean, that's, you know, you're putting it in a bottle. Now, granted, it doesn't store for a long time, but you're going on a trip. Let's say you're going on a backpacking trip or something like that. You can get a pint of clarified butter, squirt it in your what do you call those things? Oatmeal in the morning. A little bit of clarified butter, a little bit of honey, and some sugar, and poof, you've got your breakfast. I mean, that's fairly high calorie breakfast. And you got to remember, when you're like soldiers, when they're under strenuous activity, it's hard for them to take in enough calories not to lose weight, no matter how much they eat. So, you know, you're gonna like say good, but pack you a little pint of olive oil. I'm gonna give it a guesstimate. A pint is let's see, 16 ounces. So an ounce would be a shot glass. Let's say if you, that would be about 8 days if you put a shot glass of oil in each of your meals. You know, mix it in the whole meal. And that's not a lot, believe me. It sounds like a lot if you're drinking it straight up, but when you disperse it in your meal, it's not a lot. So you put about a shot glass of olive oil or clarified butter in each one of your meals, and then you've got a pretty substantial, you know, bug out meal for strenuous activity. If you're not strenuous and you're just sheltering in place or something, yeah, then you cut your, then these portion sizes are perfectly fine. But for actual out chopping wood and doing guard duty and or cleaning up after a hurricane, you know, strenuous stuff where you're going to be sweating and toiling and stuff, these serving sizes, these 1,200 calorie a day serving sizes will not cut the cake. 1,200 calories a day is probably for sheltering in place. You're not doing much more than taking a shower and wiping your own butt. So, that. Other than that, I can say here in a minute, I'm going to tell you the Irish pub style cheddar potatoes was good. It tasted good. Now this hasn't been no 20 minutes, but I'm going to go ahead and stir it. Well, you can't see it, but take my word for it. I'm stirring that little bit of stuff, making sure it all stays stirred up. I mean, I can see it has little bits of carrots and peas and stuff in there. I'm going to cover it back up. And now we'll talk about how do you get to your bug out location. You know, on that show Doomsday Preppers, oh, by the way, I was on season 1, episode 2. I was the truck driver and ham radio operator, so I got to thinking about EMP. You know, me being a freight hauler, after an EMP, you get a couple of these beasties right here in a wagon, and you become a freight hauler again. Do you think after an EMP, the government is going to make me fill out a logbook to haul, to haul stuff on my horse-drawn wagon? Do you really think the Department of Transportation is going to care how many hours me and my little horse ride down the road? I mean, we have regulated ourselves. Our liberties have been regulated away. You got government into everything. And they always say it's for the common good. It's for the good of the community. Do you know what that is, Mr. and Mrs. American? When it's good for the community, you do everything for the good of the community? There's a name for that. It's an ism. Communism. Everything is for the good of the community. All personal liberties are given up for the good of the community. That is communism. And that is basically what the United States has become. The only reason that we allow churches and stuff like that is because the community wants churches and freedom of religion. Right now in this country, if the community ever decided that religion was too big of a pain in the butt, if the community decided it, the United States would get rid of the First Amendment too. I mean, we're well on the way to being more communist than Russia was. Be it different, don't get me wrong, we're not the same, we're different, but we're having the same thing. We're having the schools. Now the education system is deciding what your child is going to be. No going with your dreams anymore. You'll go with whatever your test scores say you're good at. Otherwise, unless of course you're rich, then you get to decide. If you're poor, you'll go by your SAT scores, and the only way to get any government money is to, or get funding for your education, is to take the courses that you score highest in. Oh, look, Cleo's back. Hey, Cleo. Hey. She doesn't like teriyaki. This is not horse approved. Horses do not like chicken teriyaki. Want to see? Hey, smell? No, she is not impressed. Let me open it up so she can smell it better. Hey, you want to smell chicken teriyaki? Want to smell? Not so much. Horses are not so much carnivorous, although they will eat some small animals. That's right, a horse has been known to eat rodents and birds, little birds. That's why one of the reasons I can give her an egg in the wintertime. I'll put a raw egg, you know, I'll dilute the raw egg in about 2 gallons of water, along with some vitamin and mineral mix. I'll dilute that in the water, then I'll pour that water into about 1/3 of a 5-gallon bucket of alfalfa cubes. And then alfalfa cubes. What are you doing down there? Anyway, what are you doing down there? There's Cleo. What are you doing? What you doing? What you doing? Looking at that thing? What is that? Oh, what is that? Huh? Let's see what we got here. All right, here we go. Do a great taste test. A little bit water. I guess it's supposed to be a soup. Now, I only put 2 cups of water in this. Boiled it. And let me see if I can get the camera down here. It's pretty watery, more like a soup. So, let's see how it tastes. Now, I guess I could have mixed more of this in there, but this says use 5 cups of water. So I imagine it's supposed to be a soupy. Yeah, bring 5 cups of water to boil. With contents turned down, gentle boil. So nice and tender. The noodles are tender. Sweet. Rice. That's what this would be good over. And you definitely don't need that much water. Yeah. Pour this over rice. Then you have a serving for 5 people. This and rice. Yeah, you take a, I don't know, let's see, a couple of cups full of dried rice, and you cook this up a little bit thicker. I'd say add 4 cups of water, and you pour this over the rice. There you go. There's your meal right there. But it does taste good. It tastes good. It's sweet. It's oriental flavor. Definitely needs rice. Of course, you may like your stuff, your chicken teriyaki without rice. Half a dozen, one or the other. I'm gonna give it I'm going to have to, you know, I put Mountain House as a standard to go by. Now, if you're concerned with the MSGs and trans fats and the healthy part and sea salt, you know, I'm one of those people that believe salt is salt. But anyway, if you're one of the sea salt believers and the MSG and all like that, this is definitely a good option. I would put this under the, it's not bad. It's different. It's not the same as freeze-dried. It's dehydrated. It is. You have to classify this under pre-prepared, you know, all the seasonings and everything mixed together. Dehydrated meal. That's as close as you can come to a dehydrated MRE. Well, it can't be an MRE if it's dehydrated, right? Because MRE stands for meal ready to eat. But this is a complete, how would you say, recipe? You know, all your seasonings, flavorings, and all that mixed together, one package. You take this, you dump it into, it says 5 cups of water, but I'm thinking this is an additive to rice myself. This is a good rice additive. Anyhow, and the Irish pub style cheddar potatoes, I don't know what I would add. That's pretty good by itself. But this here is so strong in flavoring, I actually think you'd have to add it to rice or something to tone it down. This is very, very sweet. I'm almost getting a sticky flavoring, like it's got a lot of sugar in it. I have to, let's see, what does it say? Yep. In list of ingredients in order, penny pasta. The next ingredient is sugar. Then chicken base, food starch, teriyaki powder, wild sliced onions, carrot, shreds, red, green, bell peppers, diced pineapple, cross-cut celery, peas, garlic, natural orange flavor, citric acid, pineapple, juice, lithium gum, and powder. Allergens, soy and wheat. So it has soy and wheat in it. Yeah. Okay. That's my review of chicken teriyaki from valleyfoodstorage.com. Add rice. Add rice. Okay. The Irish pub style potato may be better if you want to have a soup and a sandwich, your group. That's what it'd be good for. The Irish style soup and potatoes, something you want to pack on a like a picnic, going on a family picnic, and you can just stop at the local water supply, get your family style thing, add your 5 cups of water, and cook it like that. And well, Dad is cooking the soup, your mom can be making up the sandwiches. You know, you have soup and sandwich, like it's like a potato soup and a sandwich. And that would make a cool lunch, and it would taste good. It would be hot, nutritious, and all that wonderful, feel-good, touchy-feely stuff, you know. Okay, I'm gonna give, it's definitely edible. Edible. And I'll put links to all the stuff down below. Like I said, Mylar, you'll have to store this inside a hard container because rodents will eat through the Mylar.